Good evening, welcome to my hangar. The project today is pretty simple. I'm going to replace the mower deck with the snowblower on my John Deere X370. I'm doing this partly to remember how to do it myself every year, so feel free to ride along. We've got the deck all the way at the bottom. Next step is to grab a 3/8 drive wrench of some sort. You plug it into this little fitting back here. You pressure on this, and then you release the belt. Then we pull this pin here, a nice little clip. You straight forward, push out the pin. And then we do the same on the other side. With the back released, we can move this back, disconnect the deck from this arm, and then pop the two clips to release the two sides of the arm. And put these guys back in so I can find them again. So now the deck is released from the tractor. You can turn the steering wheel all the way and drag it out. This is the way I store my snowblower in the off season. I have several things here. This is the counterweight rack that I recently built. You can see a YouTube video about that. That's going to go in back. And then we have the front frame that has the attachment brackets, of course. We'll put that up front here. And we have the teeter totter bracket. And this guy bolts up on the lift arms and gives us an attach point for the control of the snowblower. And of course, this is the one that's always interesting to remember which way to put it in. And of course, there's our blower deck right there. I keep it on this dolly, furniture dolly kind of a thing, and it lets me roll things around. I tuck the belt up inside here so that it doesn't catch on things. This is the way it goes into the tractor. It might help to see the label here that says warning, and that actually will be vertical and right side up when it's installed in the right spot. So that's the arm that we're going into. This hole here and this hole here are where these two fixed pins go into. So let's go ahead and set that up in there. Just like that. So this is where it goes. This pin and this pin, the two pins go into this hole and this hole. We're going to line these two up with that. So we just start in the back. Line it up, clip it. And then the front one. That's simple. So now we have our basic lift frame in place. One of the big questions always is which way these arms go, which side up, and up or above or below the axle. And this is the right way here. So what we're going to do is, first we lift these up and over the axle. Just like that. Get this pretty close. And then we're going to slide this rod in from the right side to the left. The problem is this tire is going to be in the way. So, because it's a 370, it has power steering, but it'll still turn. We line this up, making sure that our front bracket is on the inside of the frame here. And John Deere has very cleverly put a little tab here to help hold it when you get it lined up. Looks like we need to fight it just a little bit. It was so close the whole time. And then the little clip goes in. So if you get to this point and you find out that there's not enough shaft for that clip to go in, that probably means that you don't have the front bracket on the inside of the frame bracket, because it'll offset a little bit, and then you have this frame on the outside, and then the clip won't go into the hole. Okay, let's line this up straight again and attach the ends of the lift arms. Now we pull this pin up, And we need to get this into that hole. With that, our frame is attached. So we want to get these things out and parked so they're retracted, and the little pins are in the retracted positions. So now we have the blower deck lined up with the front of the bracket. And what we want to do is make this pin come right over the top and hook in here on both sides. And then this pin will drop into that hole right there. I'm going to take this opportunity to feed this belt back through the hole, because it'll get a little bit crowded later. And it is going above the crossbar, the mounting bar. And one thing to know in advance, might be helpful to know in advance, this pulley right here has to go under this bar right here. So depending on how high your furniture dolly is, this may or may not be at the right angle. My furniture dolly is a little low, so I put a couple of 2x4s in to tilt it back just a little bit. With that tilt in place, I can roll either the dolly or I can roll the tractor and make these guys line up. Just like that. Now at this point, the smart thing to do is start up the tractor and lift the bracket a little bit. So here we go. Now it's time to attach the handle for the controls. This has a little bolt here that very nicely aligns this so that you only have to do the one bolt. It's a carriage bolt that goes from the inside out. We got a washer and our lock washer, and then the locking knob. There we go. So we just make sure that it's engaged on the little pin that bolt head represents. So our next job is to get this belt onto this pulley, and it almost goes. You can just kind of work it around. But if you put your hand up in the front here, get it on top of this pulley, you can get a little bit of slack, and it'll go on real easy. There we go. At this point the blower is ready to go, but it would be nice to have some weight on the back here. So I'm going to mount the bracket that I just recently built. There's a YouTube video on that. It bolts into the little posts which the bagger attached to. And I'm going to put the pins from the outside in because there's a lot of slush that flies around by the wheels. So we got the washer. And this one goes from the outside in. Washer, clip. And then the weights go on. And we are ready for winter. Let it snow. And that's it. We should be ready for winter.